In movies, people don't ask that. They just kind of like feel out the moment, and it's like been building for 10 years, and they like run to each other in a field of wheat, and then they like passionately make out. But this guy, we were not in a field of wheat. Today, I'm gonna be telling you guys the story of my first kiss. I have been told that this is a very cringy story and a very different story than most people's first kisses. This story takes place in Boston because that is where my sister went to college. And my sophomore year of high school, my parents sent me on a trip to go visit her for a week. So I was on vacation from school and she wasn't. So I had a lot of free time and I was like, what am I gonna do in this free time? I'm gonna talk to guys. I had only been on a few dates with one guy. The thing about this week in Boston in particular was it was freezing cold. On the coldest day, it was -35 with wind chill, which is cold. Like, it was painful. Being outside was awful. So that's what I was dealing with. It was kind of one of those don't go outside things unless you have to. But I went outside. You know me. I can't stay away. I'm gonna go outside, I'm gonna brave the cold. This trip also was really built up for me because my mom, when she was my same age, when she was 15, she visited her sister at college and had her first kiss there. And so I was like, okay, my mom did it, maybe I'll do it. It wasn't like something that I set out to do. I wasn't like, okay, this is it, guys. I'm gonna get my first kiss. It's gonna be crazy. But it was something that was like on the mind where I was like, okay, it could happen. It's a possibility. I went to Boston and I went to a frat party with my sister and there were some creepy guys, but there was also like nothing really happened. So I was like, okay, I was wanting to experiment. I was a scientist. I was looking to talk to some men. So what do you do when you want to talk to men? You make a Tinder account. That is what you do. Now, that being said, I was 15. I should not have been making a Tinder account. So disclaimer, there are so many creepy people on Tinder. Please do not make one unless you're 18. And even if you're over 18, please be safe. So I was texting all these guys. I had a fake name. I had a fake age. I just said that I was 18 because I thought that I could go with it easily. But the thing was, I did not look 18. Like, I gotta be real with you. So, I don't know. They must have thought that I was just like a baby or that I was lying. I matched with one guy who I went on a date with the day before this story takes place. Totally weird for its own reasons, but we did not kiss. So, first kiss, still intact. Okay. I'll go on another date. It will be fun. It'll be casual. He asked, he was like, do you want to meet up tomorrow? I was like, yeah. He comes and picks me up at my sister's dorm. Right away, he looked like old. And the thing was, he was a college freshman at a different university in Boston, but he was on the older side. He was like 19 or 20, and I was 15. So that's like a 4 to 5 year age gap, which at that age is kind of a lot. But it was, honestly, it was something that I was excited about because I was like, okay, it's an older guy, ooh. He was a musician, which I liked, but it was whatever. Like, I was just gonna hang out with him. It was gonna be fine. This guy, I don't know. You know those people who just like compliment you, but you feel like they don't mean it? He was like one of those guys who just be like, oh, you're so great. Oh, you're so beautiful, like all the time. And I was like, okay, that's kind of awkward, but we were fine. He asked me, he was like, what college do you go to? I like made up a call. I mean, actually, I said the school that I wanted to go to. So, like I said before, it was really cold. I was wearing these really high heels because I wanted to look tall. They were like high heel boots, but they were still high. My feet hurt, and they were also frozen. Everything was frozen. It was not a pleasant situation. But this guy is clearly doing fine. Like, he doesn't seem cold. Maybe, I don't know if he was from Boston and therefore used to the cold. I'm not sure. I don't remember. That makes me feel bad. This guy was my first kiss and I don't even know where he grew up. Eventually I was like, I am so cold, I need to go in somewhere, but it was really late and we were in like a not family friendly area of town. It's like the kind of area where a lot of college students live. So it's just a lot of bars and that's it. So there was nowhere that we could go into except for this really rundown McDonald's. So he's like, we're gonna go in there. I'm like, okay. I'm like really socially awkward. So if I go into a restaurant, I am going to buy food there. Like there is no question in my mind. Because I don't want to get yelled at, you know? I don't want someone to come up to me and be like, hello, did you like buy anything? Because I would feel really bad. This guy is like, no, we can just stand here and warm up. We don't have to buy anything. And that to me, it's like a major red flag. I don't want to be in this restaurant. So we stood there for like 30 seconds and I was like, no, I'm out, bro. But then things twisted, things turned, things got steamy. So he started really hitting heavy about the, oh, you're so beautiful. Call me self-conscious because I am, so you can say that. But it made me kind of uncomfortable to just have it said over and over, you know? So he goes, do you want to kiss me? And I was like, ooh, he just asked that. He just like, I don't know, like in my head, you know, in movies, people don't ask that. They just kind of like feel out the moment and it's like been building for 10 years and they like run to each other in a field of wheat and then they like passionately make out. But this guy, we were not in a field of wheat. There was no passion. I felt kind of awkward. It was negative 35 degrees. We are in front of a McDonald's and he wants to kiss me. And I'm kind of like, okay, yeah. Because my first kiss wasn't something that I was really like building up for myself. And actually, I'm glad that I got my first kiss out of the way because the next person that I kissed was someone that I really liked at the time. And so I was glad that I wasn't as nervous about it. I was still nervous though. Then I had to like awkwardly confess, I have never done this before. And he was like shocked. Like he was truly taken aback. It was like one of those, you've never had your first kiss before? It was really cringy. I mean, I guess maybe if he thought that I was in college, maybe that would have made it weirder. But I know plenty of people who went to college without having their first kiss. So I don't know. So he was like, okay, so what you do is you just press the mouths together. I was like, okay. So like in my mind, like these are two mouths, just like, nyeh. You know, like Lady and the Tramp, just like, nyeh. This is my kissing sound, nyeh. PSA, don't make a nyeh sound when you're kissing someone or else they will be freaked out. That's not what happens. You do not make that noise, in case you were wondering. Lip press, I can do that. It doesn't feel great, it just feels like touching skin. I'm like, okay. Also, his breath was terrible. I'm sorry. He didn't eat anything during the entire course of that date, so clearly he didn't brush his teeth before leaving the house. I don't know, maybe I just really like I definitely really like brushing my teeth. It's like a hobby, it is a pastime. Those 2 times a day are like my little like relaxing yoga time, you know? I get to brush my teeth, I'm so happy. It was also just not that good because I didn't really know him or really care about him. It was a romantic interest. I wish I could roll my R's. Romantic interest. He pulled away and he goes, oh, you did it wrong. I was like, well, I did the nyeh. Isn't that what you wanted? He goes, yeah, but you did it wrong. So he was like, okay, why don't we sit down on the steps of this freezing cold stone bank? My butt is so cold. I was wearing like leggings. We try again and he goes, nah, you still did it wrong. So by this time I was like, okay, that's fine. He goes, well, it's a shame because you were really beautiful. What a kind sir. So then I was like, okay, well, I'm really cold. I guess I'll go home now. So he like walked me back to the dorm, which was sweet. Okay, like this guy wasn't a bad guy. I just want him to know that I appreciate him putting up with me because I'm sure that I made that experience really awkward. This whole time that we're walking back, he's telling me about this girl that he is in love with and how he just totally wants to be with her for the rest of his life. And honestly, if you are on a date with someone, that is kind of awkward. And this happens to me all the time. People that I go on like dates with really like to talk about other girls. I don't know what to tell you, bucko. It's a little bit awkward, you know? You're like, okay, you'd rather be with her, so why are you even going on a date with someone else? I feel like that's like rule number 1. Like on a date, you don't talk about another girl. I don't know. Maybe I've been reading the wrong books here. I haven't been reading books. No, I mean, I've been reading books. I read. I do that. We get back to the dorm. I have this thing about lying. I like literally cannot lie. It hurts me on the inside. It makes me feel sad. I'm like, I'm such a bad person. I have to like come clean. I have to be like, okay, I'm not 18. So I was like, okay, here's my real name. I'm a high school student. I'm visiting my sister. Here's my real age. He goes, oh, I know. Dead serious, straight in the eyes. I was like, what? He was like, oh yeah, when you were talking about like where you went to college, it was obvious that you just made that up. And you also like look really young. It just made it a little bit awkward for me that he didn't tell me that he knew. I mean, maybe it was awkward that I said that in the first place. Maybe it was better that he knew, but for some reason him just being deadpan, like I know, kind of freaked me out. So then I was just like, okay, bye. Good luck with that girl that you're in love with. I hope that things work out. And then he was like, you should follow my Snapchat. And so then I followed his Snapchat, and all he did was like take pictures of like his feet while he was walking and be like, hey, you should check out this thing that I did. Oh, you should check out this, like on his story. Like he would never message me himself. So I unfollowed him real quick. So that right there was first kiss story. The one pro tip I can give you, if nothing else, is please do not get your first kiss when it is negative 35 degrees because you will be like extra miserable. Honestly, your first kiss is gonna be awkward. I'm just gonna let you know that. Does it have to be as emotionally awkward as my situation? Definitely not. It does not. Please look forward to your first kiss. I know so many people who have great first kisses. And if you want to get your first kiss out of the way like I kind of did, all the power to you as well. That's kind of just up to you and up to your preferences. But I just wanted to tell you guys, this I learned later. Kissing is not meh. That is a peck. That is what like your parents do when they're in front of a toddler, you know? Like that is not what kissing is. If you're looking to like really kiss someone, it's this. That is something that like Disney did not prepare me for. That is something that this guy did not prepare me for. So I just thought that I would be a homegirl and prepare you because I love you guys.